Okay, well, I was going to start speaking there, but started coughing out of nowhere. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino. Stars Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. Actually has a lot of famous actors in this particular film. And yeah, let's dive into it. So this is Tarantino's, well, he claims it's his 9th film that he's making. He says that he's only going to make 10, direct 10, but I've already looked up his IMDb stuff, and he's done way more than 10, especially as a director. So I think he only counts 9 films that he likes. I gotta look up more of it. So supposedly he's only going to do one more film. The thing is, I don't know if he actually will do one more, or if he'll do more than that, just because maybe it's a gimmick to get money. Either way, I've loved most of his films. I have all his films back here on the whiteboard, and what I think they deserve out of 10. So there are a few directors in Hollywood that I'll drop everything to go see what they've made, and Tarantino is one of them. With this film, I'm just going to say it was an alright film. Here's the thing. I'm not hating on Tarantino. I love his films. He makes great films. I just thought this might have been his weakest one yet. And first off, let's do spoiler-free section, and I'll talk about it some more with you. The things that I really like about this film are the acting. The acting is phenomenal. The editing, the building of suspense in certain scenes. Not all the scenes, but in certain scenes, Tarantino is a master with doing that stuff. I also think he's a master of getting his actors to do or bring out their best performance. And in this film, you are definitely going to see some great performances by DiCaprio, by Brad Pitt, by Margot Robbie. They're all great. I also really liked the ending. But let's get into the things that I didn't particularly enjoy, or that drag it down. So I'm just going to put it out there, and I hope this doesn't offend anyone, especially those Tarantino fans. But about 60 to 70% of the film, I was so bored. This movie is way too long. And for most of the film, nothing happens. There are scenes going on, but I'll be honest, it feels very pretentious. What Tarantino was trying to do here is he was trying to make his love letter to Hollywood. And to anyone who isn't familiar with all the ongoing-ons in Hollywood, or most people around the world, I would say, don't understand what's going on, especially in the 60s in Hollywood, they would see it a lot more as pretentious than as a love letter, because they won't understand what's happening in the movie. That's how I saw it. I saw it very pretentious. It came off to me as if he was just trying to show off for a lot of the movie. Now, is that to say it's a bad movie? No, it's not a bad movie at all. It's just really long and has scenes in it that necessarily don't need to be in there. It felt a little self-obsessed, if that makes any sense. Another aspect of the movie that I felt was unnecessary was everything with Margot Robbie. I think she just needed to be in one scene, and that's it. Maybe 2 scenes. One at the beginning to establish her, and one at the very end. Everything else with her in it is obnoxious. It is way too long, and it really doesn't seem a point to most of it, except they're trying to build her character, but they don't build her character in a good way to make you really like her. And I'll go over more of that into the spoiler section, but if they would have cut out everything with her, it would have made the movie about 30 minutes shorter, and it probably would have made me enjoy it a lot more. The best part about this movie is the ending. The ending is so good. Oh my gosh. It's like the most Tarantino ending scene that you can possibly think of. And if you've seen his films, you probably know what I'm talking about. So, is this movie worth it? I would say it depends. If you're a Tarantino fan, then you're gonna enjoy it, I'm sure. If you're not necessarily a Tarantino fan, or you're just getting into like movies, or you're just a casual moviegoer, I would say give this movie a miss. And if you just want to see the best parts of it, I would wait till it's out. Of course, someone's going to post the ending on YouTube, so I would just watch the ending on YouTube. Alright, we're going to go into some spoilers now. Spoiler, 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 spoiler. It's a spoiler for a Tarantino film, so there's probably good spoilers. Okay, I want to go over the things that I really liked about the film first. First off, the scenes with the hippies. Anything with hippies I thought was pretty suspenseful, especially when Brad Pitt visits the farm. Oh, what's his name? Crazy dude. Charles Manson, the Ranch of Charles Manson. That's what I was thinking of. Oh, if you guys don't know, by the way, this is a film about. It kind of goes around the hippie life of Charles Manson, but not really. They're like side characters in this movie. When Brad Pitt visits the Manson farm, I thought that built so much suspense. He walks up, knocks on the door, the guy who owns the farm, in case there's hippies living there. And Tarantino built suspense here great. I could feel it. I was like gripping the edge of my seat. Tarantino's really good at suspense. That and the ending both had great suspense. Most of the other parts I didn't really care about. Of course, Leonardo DiCaprio acted his A off in this. He is such a good actor, and there was one scene with him and a little girl actress that I very much enjoyed, and I thought it was pretty funny. But for the most part, it was fun to see him act, but I would not want to watch it again. It was just too long and once again felt very pretentious. I would say the thing that feels the most off about this movie is probably the pacing. The pacing is probably why it felt so long and boring. So, speaking of pacing, let's compare this to Inglourious Basterds. Inglourious Basterds, they built suspense through the whole film. The whole film, like almost every scene I could feel suspense, or it was interesting, or something exciting was happening. In this, there's still things going on, but it drags. It drags like crazy. And it would build suspense and then immediately destroy it, and then it would stay flatlined through most of the film. And that's why I felt the pacing was very much off. Okay, I want to talk about my favorite part of this, and that was definitely the ending. The ending, oh my gosh. They do a really good thing where they have Leonardo DiCaprio's character, and it shows him with a flamethrower earlier in the movie. And I didn't think they'd bring it back, but he has these hippies, they come storm his house, and Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, and this other chick, they just bash the brains in of these hippies. And then Leonardo DiCaprio, to top it off, gets a flamethrower and burns one of them alive, and you're like, oh my gosh! Oh, it's good. It's crazy. I loved it. I love that ending. That ending scene almost made the whole movie worth it. Let's talk about one scene that I really did not like with Margot Robbie's character. It's when she goes into the theater herself and she goes to a movie that she stars in. Man, it's really pretentious. Okay, here's what I was thinking when I saw it. I was like, oh, that's cool that she's seeing herself on the screen and she's having a good time there. And of course, Margot Robbie is a very charismatic actor, so I thought she did a really good job at acting what she was supposed to act. I just didn't care for the scene. Here's how it basically went. Margot Robbie, she goes and sits down in the theater. I can't remember if she had her sunglasses on. I don't think she did, but for some reason in my mind, I can see her with that. So she's in the theater and there's other people around her, and she's like, yeah, you guys like my act? Ooh, watch my scenes. Ooh. This goes on for like 10 minutes. It's unnecessary, really unnecessary. Anyways, I'm going to give Once Upon a Time in Hollywood a 4 out of 10. Thanks guys as always for watching this. Yeah, let's talk about my hat. I kind of like wearing like this, although I always felt it looked weird on bald people to have this patch. This is a bald thing of hair there. I don't know. Click down there, like, subscribe. Thanks for checking this one out.